Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Teen Talk Central. In this week's episode, we're talking all about how to stay in routine even when you're out of town. If you guys are interested in this week's episode and it's something you want to learn more about, then definitely continue listening to this week's episode. Hey guys, it's Mia. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Teen Talk Central. This week's episode is going to be a little bit shorter than usual because I am on kind of a time crunch. I am leaving for my trip tomorrow morning and I have to wake up super early. So next week there will be no episode, unfortunately. I'm very sorry, you guys, but I will be back and I will give you guys a full trip recap. But this week we're just going to talk about how to stay on track while you are out of town without, ruining the trip. And I feel like being out of town obviously disrupts the routine because, traveling is different. Sleep, food, time zones, social expectations, environments. And I think you always have to remember that the goal isn't really to be perfect. It's just to continue and kind of stay consistent with what you're trying to have. And staying on track does not necessarily mean you have to do exactly the same things that you always do. It's kind of like introducing different types of things to what you already do. And there's this kind of idea that like progress can look smaller, simpler, and lighter, but it's still giving you progress and you're still going to see results in the long run. It's actually worse for you to just completely take time off and skip and pause what you've been doing. And it's important to kind of stay decently consistent with the habits you already have. And I think there are anchors that you can try to kind of achieve, not like full routines. For example, my 3 anchors are the academic anchor, which is like reading, reviewing notes, planning what my days are going to look like, and making sure I go over class material. The health anchor, so moving, going to the gym, hydration, sleep. And then the mental anchor, which is journaling, reflecting, and some quiet time, because those are the simple habits that I can take from home and bring them into my traveling. The next one is just like lowering the bar intentionally before leaving. So these are kind of like, it allows you to mentally prepare yourself so that when you do go on vacation, you can actually just have the most fun that you want. You don't have to pressure yourself as much to kind of feel like you have to achieve the standard. Another one is using time blocks instead of schedules. You say in this chunk of time I'm gonna do this. So like I probably wake up at around 3:30 to 4 a.m. to where I'm gonna go, and so that allows me to get my work done before I kind of spend the day doing a bunch of fun things, and so I can get all my schoolwork done and stuff like that. The next one is like packing habits, not expectations. So just kind of pack like simple ideas. So, like I want to have movement. I want to hit 10,000 steps a day. Does that mean maybe going to the gym, going on a walk, just like walking around the city? That kind of, anything can go under that category. So just leaving it wide open is really important. Another one is dedicating minimums ahead of time. So like kind of like for me it's like minimum 10,000 steps. That's all the movement I'm going to force myself to do, but obviously if I can go to the gym, then I would love to do that. Or I need to journal at least 1 page, but if I can't, then I should do more. If I can't, I shouldn't, I don't have to force myself, but I definitely want to try to hit that minimum, which I think is really important. The next one is this like social pressure. I feel like sometimes people get like really pressured to say yes, even when they're not here, and you can say no to things, and you have to balance your presence with self-respect. And like sometimes you're traveling and you just like want to explore on your own, and that's okay, and you can say no. And I think guilt doesn't really mean that you're doing something wrong. So like even if you're traveling with a friend and like they really want to hang out with you or like go see this thing, but you just really want to spend some time alone and like have fun, you can say no. This is like only really applied to if you're traveling with a friend. But I'm really excited because I'm going somewhere that I like gone to a couple times. Like I don't have to do as much of the touristy things. I think some people, like if you're really doing a lot of the touristy things, it might take a little bit more of your time. But if you're able to kind of take some time for yourself and like be able to continue your routines, it would be really nice. And it's something that I kind of recommend everyone do if you're going back somewhere but going back somewhere that you have gone to before. At this point, I'm kind of just rambling. But yeah, it's another thing is like, how do you get back on track after you come home? The first thing is like, you don't really have to reset, you just need to resume, because you never stopped. You just kind of have to like take what you've already been doing and then just like go back to what's normal, and just avoid punishing yourself or overcompensation. Just like literally just go back to normal. You don't have to like do anything more special or anything, because that is gonna kind of like amp you up more, and it might make it harder actually to go back. And then just reflect on what held up and what didn't, and what patterns and habits you noticed that you were able to continue outside of traveling, to what you'd normally do at home. And then you kind of can plan ahead for next time and see, these are the habits I can do even when I am not home. And I think the biggest takeaways is that discipline should be flexible, and life changes and you just have to learn how to adapt. Adapting is so important, and consistency is